That's good shit.
Hey everyone, it's your boy the Devil Salad, and this is Cooking with the Devil. Good stoner food for all stoners. Today, we're going to be preparing one of my favorite meals. It's very simple, German Goulash. So let's light that bowl and let's get cooking. Alright everyone, here we go. We're gonna hook this thing up. Alright, here are all the things you need to make German Goulash. First, what I like to start to do is I like to get my mushrooms and get them rinsed, or at least soaking in water. Just tear a little hole in it. Rinse some cold water under that sucker. There we go. Might lose one or two, but give them a good shake and drain. Doesn't have to be perfect, just rinse them off. Set them off to the side. Here's your crock pot. I couldn't get cube pork, so get what you can and then cube it yourself, like I'm about to do. Make sure it's a pound though. Well, close. It doesn't have to be exactly a pound. Like say that's 95, so 95% of a pound. So let's just cube these real quick. Doesn't have to be nothing fancy. Just cube them. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but that's why you're here, learning how to cook a simple meal, right? So let's just cube these bad boys up. Like I said, they don't gotta be perfect. Okay? Just cube. Bigger chunks, whatever. Try to get them even, but that never fucking works. So, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Now, I always like to put my beef on the bottom of the crock pot. And the reason, or not my beef, my pork, because pork has a lot more fat in it and it won't stick to the bottom as like a beef usually doesn't, as long as you cook it on low. But still, why risk it? See that? That looks like a bunch of sinew right there. We don't want that. Get that crap out of here. No sinew. A little bit of fat's okay, but sinew, eh. Keep you. Alright, that's good enough. Now, get them in there. Get your, lucky me, I got, my beef was already cubed. So let's open this bad boy up. Get our, make sure we pull it all apart. Throw it in there, right in the crock pot right there. All right. There we go. Now, at this stage, let me get my hands here. Wash your hands off, or rinse them at least. A little bit of paper towel action. All right. And this, at this point, this is when I do my pepper and my salt. I mean, you could do it on the top and let it float down, but I like to get my meat, both of them in the crock pot first, give them some nice pepper, give them a little bit of salt. I'm not big on the salt, but the salt will help tenderize your meat. And let's mix that all up in there. Get that all nice and mixed up. Alright. Doesn't gotta be perfect, but just get it into the meat. Mix it. Oh, it'll help with the stirring later too, if you already mix it, because it'll end up turning into one big chunk in about an hour. So, got our salt, we got our pepper. Now, what we need to do is chop up our green peppers. As you can tell, I like to do 2 green peppers, even though you can just do 1. If you want to do just 1, that's fine too. Actually, I might even just do 1, because I have the mushrooms right there. Which, speaking of, let's add the mushrooms right now. Yeah, nice white mushrooms. You can use portobellas. You can use any kind of mushroom, really. Whatever mushrooms you want to use. Doesn't matter. It's up to your taste. I like just regular white mushrooms. And as you can tell, it takes up this little tiny crock pot pretty good. So, this is where it gets tricky. This is where you kind of have to decide on whether or not you want to do 2 green peppers. I guess. But, like I said, this will simmer down. So, don't fret too much. It'll simmer down. So, let's top the center of this puppy. Like that. Get that out of there. Get the core. And then I just like to slice it like this. I'm sure some of you motherfuckers like to do the fancy ass Gordon Ramsay shit, but not me. Now just punch these seeds out or whatever, the inners. A little bit of seeds won't hurt you. Alright. Slice them again. Just cut them up. They don't have to be pretty. They're gonna all turn to a beautiful mush anyways. So let's go right there, and a little bit there, a little bit there. That looks alright. Now let's put that in there. See if we can fit anything else. Yeah, we might be able to get that other green pepper in there anyways. I guess we'll have to be limited on the onions, but I always put the onions on the top. Which, speaking of which, let's get the paprika going here. 1/4 cup. It doesn't have to be a 1/4 cup. Shit, I don't even got a 1/4 cup in there. Well, that's a bummer. But, shit, that's like 1/8 of a cup. But, like I said, paprika, that's to taste anyways. So, sprinkle that right up in there like that. And get rid of that. And let's get this onion going here. Nice white onion. Let's get the skin off this puppy. There we go. It's a nice one. A little bit of paprika on it. Now, most of you motherfuckers are going to be like, oh, that's not how you cut an onion. I don't care. Alright, this is just how I do it. So, oh my god, his fingers. Oh my god. His fingers. I'm going to chop his fingers off. And I really don't use the core too much. But this one ain't too bad, actually. I leave the yellow part out, but that's always preference too. Everything is preference, I guess. That's why it's simple. Let's get these just kind of in there. These the same. I mean, I like to have them chopped up kind of good, but they don't need to be super fine chopped. Depends how many you want to fit in there. So, yeah. There's some skin. Get that out of there. You don't want the skin in there. Big old chunk. Just chop them up the best you can. See, that's probably good enough. Get rid of that. These all break up in the pot, so we'll get as much of this in there as we can. Good scoop. Boop. See that? Big, nice little scoop. Doop-de-doop. Guess we can't fit that other pepper in there. I mean, we could, but we're not gonna push it. So. Alright, there's that. Now, only one more thing to do. 1 cup of water. There we go. And that just helps it steam. Mix up some of that stuff on the bottom, keep it from sticking. And that's it. I mean, now what we do, we put our lid on, and we put that puppy on low for 4 hours. At the 2-hour mark, you want to take a wooden spoon and stir it up real good. But we'll be back in 4 hours. Alright, we're about 2 hours in of our 4 hours. And as you can tell, she's slowly cooking like she's supposed to. This is about the point where you want to mix it up real good. And as you can tell, well, maybe you can't. There's lots of juice in there, and there'll be even more when we get done. So just make sure you use the side of the crock pot as leverage to get that meat on the bottom. Just go real slow, lift it up, give it a little turn. Just give it a nice, good stir. And make sure you put the lid back on, and we'll check on it in another hour, give it another good stir, and then we'll come back to the video when the next 2 hours is up to add the rest of the ingredients. So see you then. Alright, the 4 hours has elapsed with some stirring in between every half hour or so. And she is looking tasty. Smells amazing as usual. You wouldn't think so many simple ingredients would be able to smell so freaking good. But, oh yeah. So now, it's time to add your 1 ounce of brown gravy. You can use a mix or you can actually use gravy. I weigh it in a thing, but just add it in. Stir it up. Make sure you mix it thoroughly. That'll help thicken everything up into a more thicker broth. Now everything that you see, like the gravy and the mashed potatoes, I'm going to be using powdered mashed potatoes only because I don't really care about the potatoes. I care about this. I eat a lot more of this than the potatoes. You can, if the proper way to do it, of course, is to boil your potatoes and make them into mashed potatoes that way and add butter and whatnot. But alright, that seems to be mixed up pretty good. So now we'll take our 14 ounces of sour cream and add the entire thing. Oh yeah. And that is gonna be some good shit, my friends. I'll probably get probably 4 or 5 meals to myself out of this, depending on how big of servings I go. But make sure you stir this up real good after you add your sour cream. Make sure there ain't no big giant chunks. You want to mix everything up. You can already tell how much creamier it got, just the color. But, alright, just getting there. Oh yeah, that's the color you want right there. Beautiful. Alright, so now we're going to put our lid on. And we're going to set our timer for 1 hour. And we'll be back when it's done. Alright folks, here we go. We got mashed potatoes in a bowl right here. That's how I like to set it up. Spread it up upon the sides. I let the crock pot, after it was completed with that final hour and after a couple iterations of stirring, just let the crock pot cool off for about 5 minutes and your finished product should be something that looks of this nature. And it smells so freaking good, let me tell you. Oh man, let me get this out here so you can see a little better. I mean, this smells so good. Ugh, you guys really need to try this, because you don't know what you're missing out. It really doesn't cost much. You don't have to use top of the line meat or anything like that, and you get some, I mean, look at that. Over the potatoes, let's go, baby. Let's go. Make sure you get that broth too. The broth is real good. There you have it. So here we go, folks. Finished product. German Goulash. Smells so freaking good. And the potatoes, they just, I mean, it all just blends together, and it doesn't cost that much. So go ahead, try out the German Goulash. I'm telling you, it might be one of your favorite meals like it is mine. Don't know until you try it. Only takes 5 hours to make. It's very cheap, and it'll give you about 5 meals. So go try it, and if you don't like it, remember, there's always a secret ingredient. And it's the ganj. So, we'll see you guys on the next one. Enjoy your German goulash. Peace.